Hey y'all, Shelly here with another tip for hospice nurses. So whenever we get our patients, finally we work really hard and we get our patients settled and everything and their symptoms are well managed. These are the times that most of us struggle with documenting and with what to say so that our patient continues to meet eligibility and we can continue to take care of this patient. So today I'm talking about one thing that we can do that will help with this, and that is to talk about what the patient cannot do versus what they can do. So for example, if a patient is ambulatory, I'm not going to say ambulatory and nothing else. Instead, I'm going to say patient is unable to ambulate down the 3 or 4 steps off of their porch. So you see, they're ambulatory, but I'm focusing on what they cannot do. Instead of saying a patient is eating 100% of 3 meals daily and leaving it at that, I'm going to talk about how they cannot obtain that food, they cannot prepare the food, they cannot clean up the food. Focus on that, what they cannot do. Instead of saying a patient is on room air, I'm going to say supplemental oxygen is available and utilized at 2 liters per nasal cannula as needed for periods of increased dyspnea. Because we have oxygen in their home. We have it in their home because they are so sick that we feel that at any minute they might need that oxygen. So that highlights where their debility is versus where their strengths are. So if we took a sentence like, what we would commonly say, that patient is ambulatory, eating 100% of 3 meals daily and on room air. That's really not going to support eligibility too much. That doesn't give us a good image of this patient. So we're going to say the same thing, but we're going to say it this way. Due to progressively worsening weakness and debility, patient is unable to ambulate down the 4 steps off his porch. Patient remains mostly in home due to this progressively worsening weakness and debility. Patient is unable to obtain, prepare, or clean up food. Patient is consuming 100% of 3 meals daily, but also remains 100% dependent on the preparation and obtaining of the food. And supplemental oxygen is available and utilized at 2 liters per nasal cannula as needed for periods of dyspnea. So I said the same thing, but I just started with what they cannot do versus what they can do, or what is the negative versus what is the positive. Now, this does take a lot of practice. So I think after you do it enough times, it starts to flow more easily, but it does take practice and it is a little bit awkward at first. If you need more help with phrases or things to say, I do have some books for sale that you can get on my website where mostly all I have in them is just phrases and these negative techniques, how to document negatively. You can get them on my website, amitstaffing.com. So I hope this tip was helpful. If you have any tips that would be helpful for hospice nurses, please let me know. I'd love to share them here. And remember, together we can change our world.